Hey everyone, I'm Jess, and I'm super excited to be here on this virtual panel with so many great faces and names. You might know me as Beer Babe Jess. I'm repping the tea today, of course. And we're going to be talking about storytelling and brand authenticity and really how to connect with your fans and your customers in a really authentic way. So hopefully you'll learn some tips and tricks along the way. Um, I always kind of laugh and cringe at the word influencer, but you can find me as Beer Babe Jess. This is my contact, and I always kind of joke. I'm a little bit more than just an influencer. I've been working in marketing and advertising for almost 20 years, working on brands like American Express, Hyatt Hotels, Ulta Beauty. So I'm definitely doing the Beer Babe stuff as a side gig and have my day job, but super blessed to have had the opportunities that I've had to partner with breweries and restaurants and hotels across the country to really shine a light on their brand. So this sort of is a cuvee, if you will, of my Beer Babe life and my day job in marketing and advertising. So, if you close your eyes and imagine what craft beer looked like just 10 years ago and why was it like this? No hate, I love Revolution. It's one of my favorite Chicago breweries. Chicago is my hometown. I now reside in San Diego. But we all know diversity matters, and diverse stories, I think, truly breed a lot of authentic connections. I think people are really craving the diversity in storytelling and just in the world. And, what can we learn from that? And how can we lean into that and do our best to make sure that diversity does matter, right? So, there is this art to storytelling and having that sort of diverse, POV that those fans, they will be attracted to hearing your stories and hearing about your brand essence, right? It's not really just about the beer anymore. It's about the brand. It's about the people behind the brand. So I've got some great ideas here for you all on how to kind of craft those authentic brand stories, bring folks in, connect with your audiences, not only on social, but in real life. So, number one is really figuring out like the reason to believe in your brand. Why should I believe in your brand? Why should I connect with your brand? What's your brand persona? What's your personality? There's a heavy metal themed brewery in Denver. There's a Nickelodeon branded brewery in SoCal. So lean into that. Make it weird. People know you've got great beer, but really see if you can craft a little bit more and give people that reason to be connected to you, right? Um, Another way is to really bring forth like authentic stories about the people behind your brand. So, your cellarmen, your taproom managers, your owners, people want to hear those stories. They care. They want a reason to connect. So bring in some of those stories on social, on your site, and I think people will come. The right folks will come, right? And the ones who aren't aligned, they'll fall away, but that's okay. Um, I think it's also important to create real life spaces for people from all walks of life to come together. So one example of this that I thought was really interesting was that Pure Project hosts a book club. So they're out of SoCal. They host a book club. So where it's otherwise people who wouldn't necessarily come together can come together and share their love of books and beer together. That's a really kind of interesting way in. Another way I think is to really let folks be heard. I think in humanity, we all just want to be heard, right? And listen. So, what if you put out a social media poll asking your followers, what beer do you want us to brew that, you haven't had in so long? What should we bring back? And really listen to them. I think it's just a big part of really engaging in that authenticity and sort of creating connection. The second one can be scaled up and down. So cause marketing, we're all very familiar with. Second Chance out of SoCal, they integrate dog adoption into a lot of their events, into their brand, hence their name. I think you could do this as something as small as like once a year fundraiser run or coat drive or food drive or a volunteer beach cleanup. There's so many ways I think you can bring forth cause marketing. And I think that's a real authentic way to say, hey, we care about our community and really bring folks together and give back. Another way to sort of bring your brand story to the forefront, I think kind of long gone are the days where we just post photos of cans on social media. I think video is really kind of engaging folks a little bit more now. I encourage folks to check out Salamo. They've got some really beautiful reels, really gorgeous visual storytelling that is just sexy and does a lot of work and tells stories in unique ways instead of through just still photos and captions. And then another way to have a bigger reach, right? A bigger reach, expand your brand and create authentic connections is through collaborations. Are you collaborating with another brewery? Um, People get excited. When my two favorite breweries collabed, I could not wait to get my hands on that beer. Um, I think, if it's collabing with a local food truck, collabing with a food vendor, any kind of collabs, I think is welcome here. And then of course, when all else fails, we lean into memes. So humor is the way, and I think the algorithm loves that people are sending each other memes and funny videos. And so Bergen beer and Seek beer are both doing a really great job of this. And people want to laugh. They want to be entertained. Coming from marketing and advertising for 18 years, there's this kind of shift from advertisement to entertainment, right? It's like they want to be entertained. They don't necessarily want to be advertised to. So people will connect with you in that way and they'll remember you and they'll share your posts and that and so on and so forth. Want to touch a little bit too on influencer culture because you all may have some questions on that. For me, it's all about authenticity, integrity, and adding value. The reason I started was to bring more people to the table, build bigger tables together, make sure people felt like they belonged. I know what it's like to not belong. I think we all do at our core. And how are you adding value in your community, to your followers? And so that's kind of my sort of bit. But again, I don't take myself too seriously given the meme from Wizard of Oz here. Some tips and tricks on working with influencers, of course, if you've never done it, make sure they're a match to your brand and your values, assess your budget, see where you can, if you have a certain marketing budget, if you have in-house marketing or out-of-home marketing, what can you afford? Ask about their rates, ask for their email so things can stay organized, things don't get buried, and then they can email you their rate cards, um, and their media kits, and you can draft agreements. I think that's a big part of it too. I know a lot of times I'm so blessed I have too much beer because breweries are like, hey, I'll send you beer. It's like they're like, you can post it or not. And it's like, let's clarify our terms. What are your needs? Do you have a grand opening? Do you have an upcoming event, a release, a new food menu? Recently I was invited to Maplewood. They were very generous, gave us $100 F&B credit just to come try their new food. They just launched their kitchen and expanded their space. So very cool to be a part of that with a lot of other media and industry folks. And then, of course, please engage when you work with influencers, comment on their posts, share their posts. We love your love. And then it just helps with reach. It helps all of us benefit and be seen and have our work shared out with the world because, we're doing it because we love y'all. We're doing it, to connect with our audience, but your audiences as well, right? That's very important. So again, Q&A, please message me. I have my contact info here. My DMs are always open. Please ask me any questions that you might have. If you ever want to work together, I included the website here for the company that I'm working with that does create really compelling brand videos and branding, social, all kinds of stuff. So I'm here to help, from a project perspective. We have worked on huge brands and now we get to focus on small brands, and that sort of makes my heart happy again. I'm able to take everything I've learned for the last almost 20 years in marketing and put it towards breweries and food trucks and just small community brands, which is really, really great. Definitely want to thank the whole crew, especially Jen and her whole team, for putting together all of this wonderful work, this virtual experience. I'm so blessed and so lucky to be able to kind of share my learnings with you all. And again, don't be shy, reach out. And I hope to meet you soon. I hope we connect and enjoy the rest of your time.